Doctor has teamed up with himself to save life. This time, he must save his past self in order to ensure his own existence in his present. What could Shashin and a dim-witted lackey Shokai have planned with his own tyrants? Only one thing is known for sure. Time will tell. Welcome, friends and companions and Wovians. How are you today? Sci-fi and fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport. And I have a special place on this channel for Doctor Who and a special place in my heart. Why is this channel called Random Entertainment Channel? It's random because we'll discuss everything and everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music, except politics and religion. That's not entertainment. That's don't that we don't do, and we don't also don't do speculations. No, we want enjoy everything and so. Random also because we will do broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what the time the broadcast is. And Doctor Who is everything about time. And there are fixed points, are non-fixed points. So that's also the reason why it's called random because the Doctor is also random in a sense that he travels through time and space random, and he doesn't know always where he's going with his TARDIS. So it's also random, and then random because we discussed all sort of things. And the plan and idea is to do in April or May. We that I will start with music, genre and styles. Discuss that because there are so many things in so different styles and genres of music to discuss about. That yeah, that's really worthwhile to discuss. So if you want to join it also in panels, you can contact me via Discord or YouTube. But it's for later. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in a live stream or panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord, YouTube. We'll look what is possible. Discord channel. What a surprise! It's called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who, and you can DM me and you can contact me. And have you got ideas? Have you got suggestions? Have you got some positive feedback? Yeah, you can contact me also. So this channel is really a variety of things to talk about. So, what I've already said, music, but we can also discuss about your for favorite food and drinks, and we can discuss about books. Because, for example, I'm a Tolkien liefhebber, Lord of Rings, The Hobbit. I also like Blake Sevens for sci-fi fantasy series, some Star Wars, Star Trek. I mainly like sci-fi and fantasy series, by the way, and also not also on screen, but not only on screen, but also on books. I like reading sci-fi and fantasy, so it's my genre more. But also, it's possible if you want to discuss other sort of movies or series in other genre, you can also contact me because that's the reason Random Entertainment Channel. We are broad-minded. We have open minds for things to discuss. But as I repeat myself, I don't do politics or religion because that's not entertainment. We want to have fun on this channel, and so that's the reason why we do this. This is the thing we will work on in this channel. So feel free to contact me. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. That's me. That's me. That's me. So today, the sixth Doctor story, the two doctors. The sixth Doctor, Colin Baker. So, how is this live stream build up? First, I begin with some general info. Then we will dive into the plot. Then I will do some world building. I picked some story notes and I discussed the continuity. So that is how the live stream is built up. So let's begin now with the general info of these two doctors. And yeah, the two doctors. Yeah, you can ask yourself what. Yeah, indeed, there are two doctors in the story. So the two doctors was the fourth serial of season 22 of Doctor Who. It was the first appearance of the Sontarans since season 15's The Invasion of Time. The second Doctor returned, played by Patrick Troughton, as did Jamie McCrimmon, played by Fraser Hines. Both having last appeared in the 20th anniversary special Five Doctors. It was the first Sontaran story set on contemporary Earth. Peter Moffat's last contribution to the show and Robert Holmes' first Six Doctor script. After the success of the Five Doctors, Nathan Turner was keen to do another multi-doctor story. He quickly secured Troughton as the returning incarnation. It was suggested the story to be set in New Orleans, but Holmes found it to have little merit as a setting, and the idea was squashed when funding was pulled. Venice was chosen by Nathan Turner, but this was too expensive, leaving them with Seville as a Spanish town. Holmes reluctantly agreed to rewrite, disappointed he would have to cut his jokes about differences between British and American English. As a vegetarian, Holmes wrote The Two Doctors as an allegory of meat eating, hunting, and butchering. The location filming was plagued by numerous small problems, including high heat that caused makeup to melt, a 3-day delay to replace Lawrence Payne and Jacqueline Pierce's wigs, as well as Patrick Troughton and John Stratton's red and drugum eyebrows, which had somehow got lost in shipping. And by the way, Jacqueline Pierce is known for Blake Seven Sutherland. Uh, There were all the problems with Carmen Gomez, who refused to wear a costume designed for her, and a local stuntman truck driver who refused to perform his stunt as it had been choreographed. So Pierce also says that she was a last-minute replacement for another unspecified actress who had to drop out of the production. Nathan Turner was informed that a filmed scene with Oscar and Anita in the olive grove was ruined by a scratch on the negative, so James Jackson and Gomez, who had already returned to England, had to be quickly brought back to Spain at a considerable expense, only for it to then turn out that the reported scratch was virtually invisible. And on the original footage was perfectly fine. So, what a problem. There was also a major spot between Moffat and Nathan Turner, which resulted in Lauder deciding not to hire Moffat for the show again. The upshot of the multiple problems with the location filming was that Nathan Turner either decided to not film outside the UK, again, was ordered by BBC executives not to do so. Reports vary about that. Although it ended up being academic due to the latter seasons not having big enough budgets to permit international shoots. So this is some information, background story about this whole thing. So there are also problems with the production, but in the end, it was, as we will hear now in the plot, it was a very great story with the two doctors. So we dive now into the plot. So spoiler alert: even if you haven't watched this three-parter story yet, I highly recommend you to watch this wonderful three-part story first before you listen to the plot. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Now I have time to have a bit of water. So as a three-parter, as I was saying, 45 minutes each. So go on. Part 1. The second Doctor pilots the TARDIS as Jamie McCrimmon laments over the absence of their friend Victoria Waterfield and the possibility of them ever getting back to her. The Doctor reminds him that she's off studying graphology at the time. Wondering where they're going, Jamie is informed by the doctor that the Time Lords are sending them on a mission to Space Station Camera in the third zone. They've also installed a teleport control on the TARDIS that grants them dual control. Showing the image of the destination to Jamie, the doctor hears him compare its size to 20 castles. The doctor explains to Jamie that the station is a research facility and they are here to have a discreet word with Dastari, the head of projects. The TARDIS materializes in the station kitchen, where they meet Shockeye, the station cook. Shockeye is an androgum, a member of a primitive, emotionally, and ethically bestial humanoid race who make up the station's workforce. He is confrontational, angry that a ship has been landed in his kitchen until the doctor reveals he's a Time Lord. Suddenly, differential, Shokai eyes Jamie hungrily and offers to buy him from the doctor as the main ingredient for a meal. The doctor, shocked, refuses. He takes Jamie away to see Dastari. As they leave, however, they hear the sound of the TARDIS dematerializing. It is observed by Chessin and Drogum, technically technologically augmented to mega genius levels. Her appearance has changed because of such she looks like an attractive human woman. Chessin has plans of her own. They involve someone named Stike, who will be arriving soon. Once Shockey's poisoned meal for the scientists takes effect. She has also taken possession of the Hart's Reimer module. The doctor speaks to the Starry in his office. He explains the Time Lords want Cart's and Reimer's time experiments ended, as if the wrong people had access to time travel. It would spell disaster for the entire universe. The Time Lords have an official policy of neutrality, which prevents them from getting directly involved. Because of such, they sent the Doctor, who has been exiled from their world, to maintain deniability of ever being involved. Dastari introduces Jessin. The Doctor is skeptical that augmentation can change her androgam nature. He considers such tampering dangerous. Meanwhile, three Sontaran battlecruisers appear near the station on an intercept course. Before the station's defenses are activated, Jessin incapacitates the technician on post and opens the docking base. Back in the office, the doctor warns that the distortions from the Kartzheimer experiments threaten the fabric of time. Dastari refuses to order them ended. He accuses the Time Lords of not wanting another race to discover the secrets of time travel. The argument grows more heated. Dastari grows faint and falls into a drugged stupor. Energy weapons begin to sound in the corridors and the doctor orders Jamie to run, as Sontaran levels a gun at the doctor. Somewhere, and someone else, the sixth doctor is fishing while Perry finishes dressing after trying to get a ton. He tries explaining that the river should be full of gumballjacks, a fish that tastes heavily when cooked just right, cleaned, skinned, and pan-fried in its own juices. The doctor packs up his fishing pole, chair, and umbrella. He tells her it's time to leave. After returning to the TARDIS, Perry is startled as Sixth Doctor sways and collapses, just as, back on the station, Timmy spies the Second Doctor in a glass chamber, writhing in agony while Sontaran manipulates controls. In his TARDIS, the Sixth Doctor awakens in a confused state. He starts talking about jelly babies and the recorder. He has had a vision of himself in his second incarnation being put to death. He realizes this is impossible since he is still alive, but he is also concerned he may have died in the past It only exists now as temporal anomaly. He decides to consult his old friend, Tastari. The TARDIS materializes on the station. Everything is dark. The smell of decay and death is everywhere. The station computer demands the doctor to leave. When he refuses, it tries to kill Perry and him by pressurizing the passageway. The doctor opens a hatch and drags his unconscious companion to another section. In the study's office, the doctor discovers the scientist's day journal and Time Lord's objections to the card's Reimer experiments. He refuses to believe his people are responsible for the massacre. Paris suggests someone is trying to frame the Time Lords to drive a wedge between them and Third Sun governments. They leave the office to enter the service ducts, work their way to the control center and try to deactivate the computer before it kills them. On Earth, Jacine, Shokai, and the Sultaran Major Val sees a Spanish hacienda killing its aged owner, Don Arana. Val sets up a beacon for the Santaran ship. Jacine absorbs the knowledge of the old woman's mind, learning they are in Andalusia, just outside Seville, as in Spain. Val announces Group Marshal Steig of the 9th Santaran Battle Group is in orbit. Meanwhile, Oscar Butcherby and Anita approach the grounds. Oscar, an English ex-stage actor who is running a restaurant in the city, is here to catch moths. Armed with a net and a cyanide killing jar, Anita and he see the Santaran ship zoom overhead and through binoculars observe the Starry and another Santaran carrying an unconscious second doctor towards the hacienda. Anita pulls Oscar along, thinking them victims of an aeroplane crash who needs help. In the bowels of the situation, Sixth Doctor tries to disconnect the main circuit to prevent the computer from attacking them again. Suddenly, Barry is attacked by a humanoid in Rex. Her cries distract the Doctor. He is hit by a gas trap and falls unconscious, ensnared in the wires. End of part 1. Part 2. The middle. Barry knocks out her attacker and frees the Sixth Doctor, who saved himself by shutting off his respiratory passages. He disconnects the computer circuits. They find that Barry's attacker is a half-delirious Jamie, who has been hiding all the while. Jamie moans that they killed the Doctor. Under hypnosis, he tells the Sixth Doctor what has transpired, giving a description that the Doctor recognizes as Sontarans. Returning to the office to examine the station records, the Doctor suddenly sees Perry in a glass tube, writhing in pain. As he frantically works the controls, the person in the tube changes from Perry to the Starry to Second Doctor and even to himself. When Jamie and Perry return to the office, the Sixth Doctor explains that what Jamie saw was an illusion designed to make people believe the Doctor was dead and not investigate further. The animator had been left on and captured Perry's image. This means the Second Doctor is a prisoner. The Sixth Doctor deduces Sontarans kidnapped Dastari as well. Dastari is the only bionicist in the galaxy who can isolate the symbiotic nuclei of a Time Lord, which gives them the molecular stability to travel through time. Given time travel, the Sontarans will be unstoppable. The Sixth Doctor puts himself into a telepathic trance to find his past incarnation. He wakes, having heard the sound of the Santa Maria, the largest of the 25 bells at the great cathedral of Seville. In the cellar of the hacienda, Dastari and Cecine set up equipment. The second doctor is drugged and passive. The starry asks why they are on Earth. Cecile says it is convenient for an attack. Stike plans for the Medellin cluster against the Rutan host, and Shokai wants to taste the flesh of humans. The starry heaps scorn on Shokai's primitive urges. He urges Jessine to remember she is beyond those now. The TARDIS materializes near the hacienda. Oscar approaches it as the TARDIS crew emerge. He thinks it's a real police box, and the doctor and his companions are plainclothes police officers. Taking advantage of the mistake, the doctor asks that Oscar lead him to the hacienda. The Starry plans to dissect the second doctor's cell structure to isolate his symbiotic nuclei and give them to Jessine. The doctors call him mad. He protests that her barbaric androgyn nature and ability to time travel will mean there will be no limit to her evil. The sixth doctor asks Perry to create a distraction at the hacienda's front door while he and Jamie enter the cellar via a passage from the nearby ice house. Perry interrupts Dastari's operation. She poses as a lost American student. Jessine is suspicious, having read the thoughts of the doctor in her mind. Jessine gets Shock Eye to bring the second doctor through the hall, strapped to a wheelchair, to see if Perry reacts. She does not, for she has never seen the second doctor. Perry makes her excuses and leaves, but Shock Eye chases her anyway, eager for a meal. Oh, money. Meanwhile, the sixth doctor and Jamie are in the cellar. The doctor examines the guard's Reimer module, a prototype time machine modeled on a Time Lord technology. He tells Jamie that once the module's Braille nebulizer is primed with his symbiotic nuclei, the Resilon imprimatur, it will be safe for anyone to use. Unfortunately, the Santarans have heard him. Outside, Shockeye catches up to Perry, and she trips and falls. Shockeye looms over her, muttering with delight. End of part 2. Last part 3. Shockeye knocks out Perry and brings her to the kitchen. In the cellar, Stike threatens to kill Jamie unless the sixth doctor gets into the module and primes it with his symbiotic prints. The doctor does so. Stike is about to kill Jamie anyway, but Jamie stabs Stike's leg. Jamie and the doctor run upstairs, where they find the second doctor. Before they can release the prisoner and escape, Shockeye shows up with the unconscious Perry. The second doctor feigns unconsciousness while the others hide. While the sixth doctor and Jamie watch from their hiding place, Jessine voices her concerns. If a second Time Lord is involved, other Time Lords may come. She has a contingency plan. She asks the Starry to implant the second doctor with Shock Eye's genetic material, turning the doctor into an androgram in her trial. Then they will eliminate the Sontarans. However, Dastari and Jessine do not know the module is primed and that outside Stike is preparing to leave in it once Sontaran High Command has been notified. He will leave no survivors. He orders Farrell to set the Sontaran battlecraft's self-destruct mechanism. Interrupting Shock Eye before he slaughters Perry, Jessine has him bring the second doctor to the cellar. There, she stuns Shockeye so Dastari can remove his genetic material. Sixth Doctor revives Perry in the kitchen and ushers Jamie and her away. The Sixth Doctor tells them what he revealed about the imprimatur in the cellar was not strictly true. He had heard Stike approaching and the speech was for the Centaurans' benefit. The machine worked for the Doctor, but will not for them because the Doctor has taken the Bright Nebulizer. Astari has implanted the second doctor with 50% androgam inheritance. When Shokai wakes in a rage, he finds a kindred spirit in transformed Doctor. They decide to go into the town to try the local cuisine. Hmm, hungry. In the meantime, Dasari lures the Santarans into the cellar. Jessine attacks them with two canisters of chlorinic acid. Frol is killed, but Stike, though wounded, escapes. He tries to use the module, but without the nebulizer. It severely burns him. Stike staggers towards his battlecraft, forgetting about the self-destruct. Ship explodes, taking him with it. Oh, oh. The sixth Doctor, Perry and Jamie follow the second Doctor and Shakai into Seville, hoping to cure him before the change becomes complete and affects the sixth Doctor as well. Dastari and Tessine are seeking the two of them, knowing that unless the second Doctor undergoes a second stabilizing operation, he will eventually reject the undergo transfusion. Second Doctor and Shokai go to Oscar's restaurant. They order gargantuan amounts of food. When Oscar demands they pay, Shokai steps and kills him, just as the sixth Doctor and the others arrive. Shokai leaves behind the second Doctor, who slowly reverts to normal. All of them leave the restaurant to the distraught Anita. Jessine and the Starry arrive to take them back to the hacienda at gunpoint. Justine and the Starry find the nebulizer missing. The sixth Doctor tells them how he primed the machine for strike. To test the Doctor's claim, they replace the nebulizer and send Perry on a trip with the module, and she survives. Jessine gives Shock Eyes permission to eat Jamie. Andrew Gump takes him to the kitchen. Alone for the moment, the sixth Doctor smugly confirms the second Doctor's suspicions. The nebulizer is sabotaged with an interface layer so thin it would only work once for Perry. The Doctors retrieve the key to their change. The sixth Doctor frees himself first and runs to save Jamie. He encounters Shokai in the kitchen. Andrew Gump wounds him with a knife, then pursues him through the grounds. But the sixth Doctor finds Oscar's cyanide killing jar. He ambushes Shockeye, covers his head with Oscar's butterfly net, and presses the cyanide-soaked cotton wool to his face, killing him. The Doctor does not feel too bad about Shockeye's death, uttering, "You're just desserts." The sight of the Time Lord's blood on the ground is too much for Jessine. She falls to her knees and starts licking it, to the Starry's disgust. He realized that no matter how augmented she may be, Jessine will always be an undergum. He decides to free the second Doctor and his companions. When Jessine sees this, she shoots and kills the Starry. She tries to shoot the second Doctor and Perry as well, but Jamie throws a knife at her, making her drop the gun. Jessine goes into the module, hoping to escape, but the module explodes, causing the molecular disintegration of Jessine and turning her back into a common anagram in death. The second Doctor uses a Stottheim remote control, which the sixth Doctor covets, to summon his TARDIS. He and Jamie say their goodbyes and leave. The sixth Doctor and Perry make their way back to their own TARDIS. The Doctor tells her that from now on it will be a healthy vegetarian diet for both of them. That's, my friends and Wovians, is the plot of this story. So I name some cast members now. Doctor, the Doctor or Sixth Doctor is played by Colin Baker. The second Doctor is played by Patrick Troughton. Perry is played by Nicola Bryant. Jimmy is played by Fraser Hines. Shokai is played by John Strennan. Jessine is played by Jacqueline Pierce. The Starry is played by Lawrence Payne. Donna Arana is played by Aimee Delamain. Oscar is played by James Saxon. Anita is played by Carmen Gomez. And Val is played by Tim Rainham. Technician is played by Nicholas Fawcett. And Stike is played by Clinton Crane. So, We now do some world building. First thing, the sixth Doctor fishes for Gumblejack and mentions a planet where he fished for them before. Second thing, Sixth Doctor multicolored umbrella makes its first appearance. Third thing, the second Doctor attended the inauguration of a space station camera before falling from favor. Somehow the starry has heard the Doctor is no longer flavor of the month on Clarify. Fourth thing, the sixth Doctor is able to close his respiratory passages when he detects the poisonous gas and can telepathically contact his previous incarnation on the astral plane. Fifth thing, space station was created by more than one-third Sun government. Sixth thing is the Sontarans have green blood and are vulnerable to chloronic acid. Seventh thing is Shokai calls human Tellurians. His money, Narx, is irredeemable of any of the 9 planets. Next thing is Perry offers to get the doctor a salary when he seemingly faints and he talks of jelly babies and his recorder. Another thing is Oscar Botcherby mistakes the doctor's TARDIS for a police box. Another thing is that Star Wars people are researching raw emissions as they relate to pin galaxies. Another thing of the star is a pioneer of genetic engineering. Another thing is that the doctor senses the smell of Armageddon because of the slaughtering in the space station. And another thing is that the doctor excludes a comet strike as a cause for the disaster of the space station. And another thing is the doctor imagines there could be death rays and nerve gas among the security systems of the space station. Another thing is Shoka includes a Kokizik in the scientist dinner. Another thing is the doctor had been trying to visit Panda Torea. Another thing is the story uses a serial mode on the second doctor. And another thing is the Time Lords have installed the teleport control in the Doctor's TARDIS. And other thing is Ewan is a waiter in Las Cadenas. There are also cultural references from real world. And it is in his collection of business cards of geniuses, Dr. Mencius, Archimedes, Brunel, Christopher Columbus, Dante, Da Vinci, and Dastari. Another thing is Oscar and the Doctor quote verses from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Another thing is the sixth Doctor recalls having been on Sevilla before. Sevilla is in Spain, by the way. The sixth Doctor hums a part of Largo el Factotum from the Barber of Seville, a very famous Barber of Seville. Last thing in world building is time travel. Ripples in time can be measured on the Boca scale. Quartz and Reimer's experimentation measured 0.4. Doctor talks of the holistic fabric of time, which might have been punctured by the Quartz Reimer experiments. Third thing is, while speaking for the benefit of the approaching Sontarans, the Doctor makes several statements about time travel, which he later claims are not entirely accurate. Time travel is impossible without some form of molecular stabilization system. The Quartz and Reimer used a Briot nebulizer into which the Doctor copies the Restylane imprimatur, turning the module into a fully functioning time machine. And the last thing is the biological makeup of Time Lords features symbiotic nuclei affording protection from molecular breakup and symbiotic control of the TARDIS. So, then I will pick some story notes. What is already funny about this story is that the story opens in black and white, with a scene featuring the second Doctor and Jamie, which then gradually transitions to color. This is a homage to Patrick Troughton's era on Doctor Who, which was shot in monochromatic formats. Further things about Patrick Troughton, by the way, and Fraser Hines, is that the story marked the final appearance of Patrick Troughton as second Doctor before his death in 1987, and the final on-screen appearance of Fraser Hines as Jamie. Fraser Hines is still alive and kicking. The second Doctor, by the way, appearing much older in this feature, which noticeably grey hair, has been stated in novelizations and audiobooks as there having been a significant amount of time passing between the war games and from 1969. That was a 10 part story, by the way. And the second Doctor's Regeneration is Spearhead from Space, a four-parter, 1970. That's with the third Doctor, John Pertwee. That's by the way, my most favorite classic Doctor in the old era. Classic era, third Doctor is my favorite. Spread from Safe 1970. However, some later and recent releases of the two Doctors have darkened the second Doctor's hair to black, resembling his appearance from the Five Doctors. Okay. This story, like many of season 22, was produced in 45 minute episodes. Um, so, de look, kijk hoor. This is one of the most violent stories in his series history, featuring multiple stabbings and knife wounds, blood spillage, human Time Lord and Centauran, the attempted cooking and eating of humans, and the killing of Shokai, but adopted by cyanide poisoning. This is reflected in the serious mortality rate, and Nita is the sole non-doctor, non-campaign character to survive its conclusion. Among the controversial moments include the more morbid imagery and the dialogue on the space station in part one. Shokai breaking a live rat's neck and eating it in part two, and Oscar death by kitchen knife in part three. So, actually, well, you can watch this episode on a horror night or a Halloween. There are more stories, by the way, in Doctor Who you can use for your horror night with friends or with Halloween or more. I've all in the past live streams I've mentioned some of that. Uh, so yeah, that's the funny thing. That's the thing I like Doctor Who is variety. Sometimes more horror, sometimes more humor. That's why I like this series so much. I'm so passionate about Doctor Who, and every time I do a live stream about Doctor Who and I do a story, I'm passionate, and every story has its strong points. So I really enjoy things, and yeah, this is noticeable for the bloody things in it, but you like it or not, for horror nights is good. Also for yeah, but things the central theme is also eating in this because Sokai wants to eat for eat and eat and eat. Uh, yeah. So again, good to have some food and drink live streams because I also like food. I like restaurants. Um, yeah. Um, okay. This was again. This was the final performance. Patrick Troughton as a doctor, and that Colin Baker stated this was his favorite episode to make, mainly because he got the chance to work with Patrick Troughton. Um, There's also a thing in the personal thing is that Fraser Hines played Jamie, met and fell in love with a married Spanish girl while on vacation. So he's. Also, I already said it, but again, Jacqueline Pearce was best known for her role as Servalan in Blake 7. By the way, I have all the DVDs of Blake 7 are four series, 52 episodes, 13 episodes each season. Servlen. Uh, Fortunately, Chicken Purse is not with us anymore. Rest in peace. It's not so long ago that she died. Um, Colin Baker guest starred in the. By the way, Colin Baker guest starred in the episode "City at the Edge of the World," which didn't feature Serverland. By the way, Colin Baker was also in Blake Seven in a minor role. It was so hot there that the actors playing the Santaran suffered in the Seville heat. Yeah, the Spain. So yeah, Colin Baker and Fraser Hines pranked Patrick Troughton by pushing him around in his wheelchair when he was tied up. Um, okay, there are so many notes, but I picked some because I want to have a good good thing about it. But I think it's the most important story notes. Yeah, most important that's related to the actors and also there are some odd things. But again, it was very hot there in when they have their cameras there. So it was a little bit of difficulty, but in the end, the result was very good. And a combination of Patrick Troughton and Tom and Colin Baker. Yeah, so a fun combination, and also to see him back, and also see Jamie back, very, very fine, fine. So now we will end with the continuity because, yeah, and again, Doctor Who universe. Many different incarnations, so many different campaigns, so many different stories and episodes are in some extent related to each other. There are future episodes who refer and link to this story, and also all past episodes are connected or linked or in relation to this story. So continuity context is important, and again, as I had previous early live streams, Doctor Who is a complex show in the sense that um, there is no such thing as canon, and again, there is to some extent there is a case of a matter of some canon. I say this: choose your own canon. Doctor is strung by its own logic things sometimes, or the logic things. There are some things logic and some not on logic, and it's for you to decide what is your canon. I say this: choose your own incarnation, favorite incarnation. Choose your own companion. So choose your own fans, favorite story, favorite episodes, and choose your own canon. The funny thing about the Who is that you can decide for yourself. Um, so you can actually say when everything is canon in your for you. What is your opinion? Then context. Um, there is no such thing as that a showrunner or a writer of Doctor Who can ruin a show. Uh, I explained that. I have that already explained in previous live streams, and I shall also say this once again. A showrunner and a writer cannot ruin canon of Doctor Who because you can choose your own canon interpretation. Hello, Len. Looks back. Very welcome. Yeah, absolutely adore this one. Don't know about there not being canon, really. The holes in the writing here are more down to Holmes, Robert Holmes probably not caring too much anymore. Uh, yeah, in this manner is it is it fits in canon. What I was saying is that um, there are fans who say that different parts of the show that in general about Doctor Who universe stories in Doctor Who. Some fans think that some stories are not canon or are ruining the canon or damage the canon. But my view is my opinion is that. Um, Actually you can you have your own interpretation of canon of that is canon or not and of some things and again a showrunner and a writer cannot ruin a canon or cannot damage canon because in the end Doctor Who is a small a large universe so you can go different directions. Huh? Yeah, but you shouldn't be talking about the Time Lords to Jamie at this point. But it's all good, seriously. Um, what do you mean by that? Okay, so I was saying this whole story is there's some continuity. If you can explain to me, Len looks back, what you mean about we shouldn't be talking about the Time Lords to Jamie at this point, but it's all good, seriously. Okay, in the meanwhile, asking some context. Okay, so the sixth doctor's regenerative trauma continues to affect him, claiming, as Perry did on Yakonda, that he hasn't felt himself lately. We see that in the twin dilemma. Okay, the second doctor having his stardust controlled by the Time Lords naturally. Yes, because there are some theories about the Patrick Troughton whole thing of about Patrick Troughton. Let me explain that. First of all, we see it in the end of the War Games, a 10-part story. It's the last uh, televised story of the second Doctor Patrick Troughton in his era, Patrick Troughton era. We see that he regenerates after he is sent to exile to Earth, and we see him. We see in the end scene. We see him screaming and things, and and in spirit from space we see that he's regenerated to the third Doctor John Pertwee. There are some theories about the fact that in the time between the War Games and the Spirits from Space, the Doctor had also some adventures and was a sort of STEM agent. Um, and the second Doctor having his stardust controlled by the Time Lords naturally. And that's in fact that's the start of that is actually also on in after the war games. Um, I don't know if there is very how long this control was, or it's has always been. I don't know. You can and again that is also for you to decide where when it started that control and when did it end the control of the Time Lords because yeah you can already decide for yourself that it starts to control the starters and when it ends. Um, Though also a complex thing about or exile of the Doctor and then in the John Pertwee era, the exile was finished. Was he was free to go? Then looks back. Okay, the second Doctor only explained about the Time Lords to Jamie in the War Games. He had no idea about them beforehand. Come on, mate. Yeah. Um, Let me think about what you say. Meanwhile, I have some water. Um, yeah, that whole thing about Time Lords actually, um, that whole concept of that he was of the race of the Time Lords was actually more and more introduced. So before there was not so not so much reference to Time Lords. Uh, because the Doctor was all the way mysterious. Doctor is Doctor Who. Where is he? Does he come from? And in the end, that's some mysterious things. And that okay. Some things are not explained. Some things are introduced in Doctor Who universe, and they are not so really good explained before. And I think ook in that time that some writers didn't know what direction this show go, because it was in that time that the in time of 1969 it was not so clear if this show would continue. So I think there was some doubts about which direction the show would go. And there are some more moments in this in the during these 60 years of Doctor Who that writers I actually didn't know from will we continue with the show, or and that's why you see why sometimes some unlogic things for us. So then it's for us to decide what to do with some can what some stories. So interpretation is then can vary. Yeah. I hope that this is something, some answer to offer some feedback to your comment. Uh, yeah, and again, that's the fun thing about Doctor Who. I actually can fill in for yourself, and that's also fun. Some things are unlogical, um, but actually, it don't bother me. It don't bother me because that's these are the moments that I can choose for myself. You say bottom line is that there should have been no discussion to Jamie about the Time Lords in Two Doctors. They said it's all fine. Still love the story big time. Yeah, I agree. This very good story. Uh, yeah, no discussion to Jamie about the Time Lords in Two Doctors. Yeah, because there's some unfinished business. But yeah, uh, so maybe in the future we can solve this whole thing because we can actually we can do 60 years more Doctor Who, and then we can explain this more could become more to wrap it up or to solve this whole matter. So where was I? The continuity. The sixth Doctor regenerative trauma continues to affect him, claiming, as Perry did on Yakonda, that he hasn't felt himself lately. We see that in the twin dilemmas of the first story of the sixth Doctor. According to World Game, this is second Doctor's second mission for the Celestial Intervention Agency, set relatively soon after the War Games. Oh, that's interesting, by the way. Um, because that is more mentioned, the Celestial Intervention Agency. Um, And now I'll do some speculation, by the way. Or no, I do no speculation, by the way, there by this channel. Will call us this this what I already mentioned in before is that about the control of the TARDIS, the Time Lords, a Celestial Intervention Agency. Um, so according to Black Hole, this mission was actually assigned to him by the monk. Uh, Disguised as Chapter 9 Constable Pavo while I was traveling with Jamie and Victoria Waterfield. And according to the legacy of Califrey, the CIA contacted him for the mission some time after the Web of Fear and thus presumably shortly after leaving Victoria in Fury from the Deep. So there is something about control about time agents for working for the Time Lords. And um, there are some fans who say that here the fugitive doctor jumps in this whole story. Where? It's not clear. But there are some theories about the fact that this fugitive doctor is also a time agent um, for the Time Lords. But that's some theories, some you can choose whether that's canon or not. Because the discussion is where does the fugitive doctor fits, and she can fit here in between the second and third doctor, or but she can also fit during the time war. But yeah, that's it. The thing of yeah, that is um, not in relation to this story, but more in the whole story of um, yeah. We go further. Um, the second Doctor James Exchange at the very beginning of part one. Uh, there's some sort of joke. Look at the size of that thing. Yes, Jamie, it's a big one. It's a running joke inserted into several episodes of 1960s, most notably the TV The Seeds of Death. Fourth thing is the Sixth Doctor sudden mindlock aboard TARDIS with the Second Doctor bears resemblance to the Fifth Doctor's fainting illness in TV, The Five Doctors. It was the 20th anniversary story of Doctor Who in 1983. Um, the fifth thing is that Sontarans previously showed interest in Time Lords and obtaining their technology. We see that in the Time Warrior and the Invasion of Time. Next thing is the Sixth Doctor initially speculates that the comet may have struck the space station camera. We see it in Attack of the Cybermen story. Next thing, the Second Doctor has already met the Sontarans in his personal history. He religiously met them during his first incarnation. There's a reference, a link to Audio the Sontarans. Third Doctor demonstrated knowledge of the Sontarans when he encountered Lynx. Seen it in TV story The Time Warrior. Next thing is the Sixth Doctor would later once again enter the astral plane to rescue Perry from the you can see it in the audio point of entry. Big finish. Yeah. The Doctor continues to enjoy fishing. We see that in the Tennis and Wang Chiang. That's a fourth Doctor story of Tom Baker. And we see also fishing in the end roots of Tara. Next thing is when the second and sixth Doctor come face to face, they both say snap. Later, the 10th Doctor says snap to the fifth Doctor when he puts on his brainy specs. And the River Song says snap to the tenth Doctor when she shows him her sonic screwdriver. We see that in Time Crash and Silence in the Library. That's what's the tenth Doctor, David Tennant. The sixth Doctor and Perry would once again encounter the Sontarans in Sussex, England in 1872. We see that in audio, the first Sontarans. The first Doctor previously visited Seville in 1587 in the company of Ian Chesterton, Barbara Wright, and Susan Foreman. We see that in audio, The Flames of Cadiz. An alternative version of Doctor had his throat cut by Shockeye, while another arrived 30 seconds before Shockeye killed Oscar instead of 30 seconds afterwards. As in a link to prose so vile as sin. And the last thing is, the Doctor would continue to maintain a vegetarian diet for the remainder of his sixth incarnation and the majority of his seventh incarnation. You see it in the TV film Doctor Who. That's the eighth Doctor. En dat is met Palm again, the eighth Doctor. While the ninth Doctor ate meat in Boomtown, that's with Christopher Eccleston. The twelfth, that is Peter Capaldi, repeatedly scolded people for their habit of eating meat. And see that in the TV episodes Deep Breath, Last Christmas, The Pilot, and World Enough and Time. And that, so my friends, is the context and continuity. And I think Len looks back for his comments. I like that interaction. I like that. So now I will end with the commercial. Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music, and sports. Random, because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random, because we will do this broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also, because we will have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look what is possible. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tag Doctor Who. I bump the server regularly so you can find me if you tag Doctor Who. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker, that's my name. So, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. You feel free to comment on this live stream video. Okay, and what I want to say is this: enjoy everyday life, enjoy Doctor Who, enjoy your favorite shows and your favorite books, and enjoy your meals. Enjoy, enjoy. So, see ya next time. Bye bye.